and probably Coach Stewart could tell you more about it. But we were talking about it earlier, and whether it's this track of his run, how he took the hand off, where his eyes were at. Not everything was really what we hoped for in practice. He did do some good things, but in order for us to get him to work on it, I think the experience of him going through that and having some film was good for Coach Stewart to work on. And boom, away he goes against UMass. So I'm expecting him to keep progressing and play better when we get to San Diego State this weekend. And that's how I expect all those guys to perform. I mean, I don't think we would like to kept the shutout in the second half, but it's football. I got these guys. The stat that matters to me the most is the win, and the rest is trying to get the team ready for future opportunities and chances for them to be on the field. And some of them you're just going to have to grind your teeth and and just correct it, and others you're going to praise them for what they do and try to be consistent. But I think I just gave McChesney as an example because I think you saw a lot of growth from him in 1 week, and imagine what he can do, what the others can do if they keep progressing like how he did.
What's the time in a blowout? When you're playing your reserves, they're playing their reserves. They actually kept their first team reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Is that more valuable for your reserve?
Exactly, yeah, and the fact that they kept their guys and they kept throwing and they're doing the regular offense, that's stuff that is really valuable for our guys to go through. And we've had to. It's just you can't simulate that in practice, and so now that it's out there, it's on film. We're going to make some corrections. A lot of the guys are watching the film on the way home, on the flight home, and so they saw it for themselves. But it's a really good opportunity for us to get better and get our depth better and get them game ready.
What do you remember about the recruitment of Jackson? I mean, I remember when you got hired, Jackson was already committed, but just down that commitment.
Yeah,
in high school.
we still had to keep him. There's I think he might have been the fourth phone call after Taysom and Jamal and some of the others, but Jackson was always going to be a BYU guy. His brother Austin was on the team at the time too, and if he didn't have any injuries, that he possibly could be starting for us at safety or corner right now. But McChesney was a speedster. We saw him making plays at Lone Peak. I mean, he was committed for a long time, but the guy made plays and then went and won a lot of track meets running the 100 meters. So you have a guy with good instincts and good vision. The only problem was that he came home from his mission and the speed wasn't all there, but you could see the potential, and we had to work him in slowly and get him in shape. And I think he's still got some more work to do, but he's progressing and doing a great job. And I think giving the missionaries some time to adjust and get ready. If you ask anyone that served a mission, and they'll say that it probably takes a good year for them to feel like their legs are back. I'm still waiting for my legs to come back from my mission.
His performance, do you expect him to be the starter, or who's going to be competing for that when it's starting?
It's always going to be during the week compete. Everyone has to compete, and that's from every position, and then we'll see who wins the spot. And so between him and Tyler and Lapini, we'll see who. And we may have to use all three of them like we did this last time. And so we'll see how it goes and how the health of Soup and others come along.
Statistically speaking, you go from one of the worst defenses last week now to one of the best. What makes the Aztec defense so good?
Rocky Long is a good coach. He's been around and he's coordinated some great defenses, and he's been head coach of some great defenses, and so he has tons of experience. And I look at the coaching staff. They have a lot of experience on their coaching staff. Guys have been head coaches and have been a lot of different places. So experience-wise, you can tell they're well coached. And you can tell that they're tough, and they take the same personality that Rocky Long has, and we expect their best shot. Said every week, we just got to make sure they get ours as well. So there's going to be a fun opportunity for us to empty our tanks and just worry about this game and finish it off the right way.
What are you going to do about your kicking woes?
Just keep competing and see what happens. I mean, he hit the upright, so that's a positive. That means he's not missing it by too much. But we believe in our kickers, and it's a long season. And there's a lot of things that go into it. We'll just compete and see who's going to be our place kicker, and maybe the dual duty of being a punter and place kicker is hard. I mean, I think I've only been part of one team that's done it, and that was Louis Dakota, who was All-American, so it might be something that's really hard for him to do, but regardless, I think he's going to have to keep working and keep competing, and we'll be okay. You say woes like it's like we've never made a field goal before.
I think he's missed a couple.
Yeah, the guys in the NFL get paid a lot of money, and they're still missing them. So it's the woes are all part of football.
San Diego State used to sort of serve as a rivalry game for BYU. What are sort of the memories that you remember from back in the day going up against the Aztecs?
I remember going to San Diego and having warm weather, and even when it rained, it was nice, and so that was a positive. And I remember playing in a time like this, like November, when it's about to snow, and we're heading to the sunny California. So looking forward to it. I also remember that we had a lot of players, a lot of fans in that area in Southern California. So I know that there'll be a lot of support there, and looking forward to the game. I think I've always remembered the athleticism and speed San Diego State's always had, and it's been that way for a very long time. And looking forward to the matchup.
What shows up on film in regards to San Diego State's offense?
Yeah, they're a tough running team. I mean, I think they've had, since Rocky's been there, they put some NFL running backs there, so that they've had some. They have a great scheme, and I think they want to run the ball. It's what they want to do, and we've had some issues with it in the past, and we're looking forward to seeing how we match up this weekend against a power. And they're a power run team. They'll do a lot of power and counter and things that are downhill, and so I think there's going to be a good challenge for our guys, and hope our D-line's ready for it. And I think they will be.
So last week when you had the contract extension, every player, every assistant coach gave the thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
What's your secret? Why do people like you so much?
I know you like me too, right? So yeah. I don't know. I'm sure there's some that don't. You make it sound like you've checked with everyone to see if they like me or not.
I've never heard a person say a bad word about you.
I mean, I'm just gonna be myself, and that makes me feel good. Thank you. But I value getting to know people, and I may not agree with everybody, especially if they're critical of me. But I'm not gonna shy away from someone that is. I think it's okay to have conversations. I've had debates over the Lakers and Jazz for a long time. Michael Jordan, LeBron. I'm always open for that. So. I don't have to be right all the time, and if you ask my wife, I'm rarely right. So, but I do value just getting to know people and finding out how they genuinely feel about things. You know what I mean? And I try to give as much feedback as I can about myself and just interact. I think that's part of life. That's why we're here. And I used to be a really when I was young, I was a shy kid, didn't get to know people, and then I've been around Lavelle and other people and seen the example and just the way that they've had such good people here when I was playing. And I think this is the place that kind of helped me open up my eyes into how my life could be better, just being around other people and getting to know others, whether they agree with you or not.
You head into the final regular season game of the season. What do you see the biggest growth from start to finish from your team?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I see growth everywhere. I really do. And I see a sense of urgency from the seniors and the leadership. And I see a team that cares about each other and that loves each other, and underclassmen just caring about how the seniors feel and wanting to give them great memories. And so the culture's starting to, it's been going really well for a long time, but they're starting to really thrive now. And when you go through tough times is when you really lean on that. And so I think that's the one thing, is that the culture is really growing, but it's not anything that I've done. It's just stuff that happens here at BYU, and things that if you organize it with the right people around it, it'll continue to grow and become a strength for the program.
Rocky Long made his feelings pretty clear a couple weeks ago, saying if it was up to him, he wouldn't schedule BYU. What do you think of these matchups against old WAC and Mountain West rivals?
Oh, I like it. It's football. I mean, I didn't know he said that, but that's okay. We'll play this weekend, and I know Rocky's a good man, and competitive, and so I'm just looking forward to the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I respect him and his coaches, and definitely respect the players and looking forward to the matchup. I know that they've had a really good season, and they've been ranked, so they're a team that we're looking forward to playing, and the fact that it's at the end of the year, and I like the last game of the season, where we already know we're going to go to bowl game, and we know we're going to have some time to recover, so you just can really just give everything you got and empty everything.
You guys have thrived in what you call tight spots. How do you what maybe are the challenges when you're a team that's now on a winning streak and you're having a lot of success?
Well, I think you just create the opportunities for them to understand what opportunities they have in front of them, rather than fear-based things. We're looking at the opportunity to go out and win another game and play for the seniors and play in front of our fans, and a lot of guys are going to be close to home there, so we're looking at the opportunities that present itself with this game, not any threats that they pose. So that's the main thing.
The Hawaii Bowl, your opponent hasn't been determined.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any preference? It could be from the Mountain West, the AAC. Do you have any?
No.
Do you care at all about that? Yeah.
Let's play a couple games there. I'll be happy to do that. So, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I trust the bowl game will choose a great opponent, and just looking forward to that matchup after this one. But yeah, there's a lot of really good teams out there that could be that we could face, and just thankful that we have this opportunity to play that game.
Remember, your future schedules have California teams at the end of the year, like San Diego this year, you got SC and Stanford. How important is California for you guys in recruiting that state?
Well, I think Tom Holmo's a California boy, so it made sense that you just end the season in California. I think that's good for us, and I don't mind it. So I don't know if that was planned or anything, but that's probably a question you can ask Tom. But I don't mind it. I like it.
How important is the state, like in terms of prospects in California, in terms of you guys recruiting?
Yeah, I think for us, it's a different dynamic with recruiting. I mean, we have to recruit guys that fit everything. I mean, it's and a lot of them we'll find within the religion, but there's a lot of guys that we found that are not members of the church that actually live this lifestyle and love being in a prestigious academic school. And so we just have to get out there and recruit them all. And a good number of them come from California, Utah, Idaho, on the west side. And then we also have some that we can reach out to that are in the members. And like I said, we take member referrals all the time. So fast guys in your ward, let us know, and big guys, let us know.
With the win on Saturday, you have an opportunity to get to 8 regular season wins after starting 2-4. What does that mean to you to be able to have played the way you have had over the last, several weeks?
I'm just not thinking about that right now. We're just thinking about the chance to play another game. And I don't think our guys really worry about the record as much as how well they're playing right now, and it's a lot of fun. The guys are growing and getting better, and we're able to do it with some wins in our pocket, So I think we're just focused on this one being the last game of the year, and just praise our guys for giving another opportunity to play together. But really looking forward to this week and having gratitude this week. It just makes sense that we're in a great spot and just keep playing.
You mentioned McChesney earlier. Who were some other young guys that got some opportunities that stood out to you in your film evaluation?
Ben Bywater. I think Keenan Peely was a little banged up earlier. There's a lot of guys. I think if you just go down the list and see those that were freshmen and sophomores that played, I would say, I'm trying to think of others. I mean, it's always good for Max Tooley and Peyton Wilgar. All those guys are younger. We have a good young team, but we are able to get some young safeties in the game too. And so I can't really think of anybody. I mean, just go down the list. I think a lot of them, the ones that haven't played in games, that have only played in the 4, those are the ones that I'm talking about. But there's also a lot of freshmen that have, whether they've been banged up or not, they're getting some significant time now.
Last couple questions. Or not.
That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I got to give you a hard time, right? You've asked everyone? That makes me feel good.
To be fair, everyone, when you were going, having those losses, I was like, look, we really like this man, but maybe he shouldn't get the countries. Even during the losses, they still were like, but we like him.
Well, to boost my ego, I'm going to talk to you guys about if I'm liked or not. You like me, Duel?
Nah, I love him.
Love me.
Nah, I love him. I love him.
Questions
Nah,
for D'Angelo?
How you guys doing? Pretty good.
Good answer, by the way.
Yeah, nah. He's a good dude. I love him.
You'll tolerate him.
Yeah.
What is it about him that makes everyone love him? Can you provide like maybe an example or an anecdote?
I think just even going back to me leaving and then him allowing me to come back, I think that just shows how much he just believes. Because usually when a guy leaves, it's just like, well, he's done. Just leave him home and let him do. But he let me come back and give me another chance to come back here and play. So I'm just grateful for him and all he's done for me. So.
Where have you seen your personal biggest growth from earlier in the season to now?
I probably say mentally. I think I got tested a lot up here early in the season, especially from the coaches, because there's some things that they wanted to see from me that I don't think that I was doing. At the time, I thought I was doing it, but I wasn't really doing it, and I'm seeing it pay off more now. So I just think being stronger up here has helped me a lot.
For a football player, is it Thanksgiving week any more difficult or even different than a regular week?
Nah, I mean, there's no school, so kind of just get to chill a little bit more and focus on just football. I think it's kind of nice, actually.
Do you kind of have to line up a place to go Thursday, or do people reach out? How does that kind of work for out of state?
Coaches usually hit you up first, or friends maybe that you've made around here. But most kids go to their coach's house, or if you're from Utah, I mean, you can go home. But I usually go to either, probably my coach's house. So.
You're from San Diego, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what does this game mean for you to be able to go home?
It's gonna be fun. I need a lot of tickets, that's for sure. But it's gonna be fun. See all my friends and family being home. I'm definitely gonna try to, not that I haven't played hard all season, but play a little extra harder, a little more juice, because I get to be home in front of the crowd. So it's gonna be good.
Did San Diego State show interest in you? Were they ever an option for you?
Nah, never.
How does the ticket situation work? It used to be you guys got 6, and then you kind of bargain with your teammates. Is that still how it works?
Yeah, we get 4 now, and then if anyone has any extra ones, they just transfer it to you. So I'm hoping to get maybe 100, maybe 200. I don't know.
Have you given some away from previous games?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so
Hopefully, we'll see.
After starting the season 2-4, you have an opportunity to get 8 regular season wins and obviously 9 with a bowl win. But to the possibility of 8 regular season wins, what would that mean to you guys after, like I said, starting 2-4?
I think it just shows how hard we worked. I think when we're at that 2-4 point in the season, Kalani just brought us in and just made a lot of changes that we need to fix the team, and just made us work a lot harder. So I think it'll just show that hard work really does pay off.
How much more confidence are you guys playing with right now? Not just because you've won, but because the execution is at a higher level on those kinds of things.
I think we're just playing a lot more loose, just having fun, but not too much fun to the point where we're not focusing, but just be more relaxed and just going out there playing for each other.
There are a lot of things that people around here think of San Diego State from the WAC and Mountain West and rivalries and that kind of thing. But what's the sort of the reputation of state football locally in San Diego, or the San Diego area? What do people kind of think of with it?
In San Diego?
Yeah, kind of in that San Diego area.
To be honest, San Diego State, not really talked about as much in our area. I think it's just San Diego in general. There's a lot more to do in San Diego just because football. I don't think sports in general is that big of a thing in San Diego, in my opinion.
It's kind of on the sort of the underside of just popular conversation.
Not that they're not good or anything. It's just there's just so much to do in San Diego that it's just football, and any other sports not really a focus.
Yeah.
So they called that corner blitz, and it looked like you were about ready to tee off on.
Oh my God! Yeah, I know.
Just give you the slip, or what happened there?
I just got too excited, I think, and it was just one of those where it was it was going in slow motion, and then you see it, and then he just gave me low-key a mean stiff arm, so it was kind of bad, but hopefully I get another opportunity to do it.
What positives from the defense performance last Saturday can be carried with you guys going forward and into this weekend in the bowl game?
Aggressiveness, definitely. Just being aggressive, being relentless, always fighting, never giving up, going after the ball as much as you can.
I asked Kalani this, but do you have a preference of who you guys play in the bowl?
No,
At all?
don't really care. Just be ready to play when time comes.
All right,
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have fun going home.
Thank you.
All right, JJ.
Can you get JJ again?
Why weren't you asking questions? You should have just been.
Gotta relive that pick. Is that his fault?
D-Lo. D-Lo.
I'll get it to him. Oh, this will be it. We're good.
Oh, man, I'm back.
Best hands on the BYU football team right there.
So did your phone blow up after that interception? You get a lot of texts and stuff from people, or?
Not really. I think because the game was on Flow Sports, but they did release the footage on Twitter. So a lot of people like reached out to me and it's like, dang, that's crazy that you got to get a pick and things like that. Like I never ever thought that I would get one.
A lot of you guys spoke out and said Kalani, you wanted to see him stay and all that. What has he kind of done specifically that has endeared himself to so many players and the community and all that?
First and foremost, he's just a great man, just a great guy in general, outside the game of football, inside the game of football. He's one of those that he really cares at you generally as a person first. And just being able to have a coach like that, you just want to buy in and do everything you can to like have him here as long as you can, because he is BYU football when you think of BYU football. And he's just a great guy to have around, and he's a great coach, and you can see like just all of our teammates believe that too.
Bronco recruited you, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
So when Kalani came aboard, did you ever think of maybe going somewhere else, or what was it that made you decide to stay, I guess?
At first I was kind of tough when Bronco left, but after beating Kalani and meeting the staff that he brought in, I know that the program would take a good direction, and I would definitely want to play for him, so that was the reason that I wanted to stay.
Can you think of any like anecdote, or what memory will you take of maybe your interactions with Kalani that'll stick with you for the rest of your life? Is there like a meeting in his office or anything? Not to get too personal, but working on an angle here.
Definitely the meeting in the office I had with them last year about switching over to defense to get my red shirt, and he's just always been a great guy. He's going to come up and ask you how you doing, how your family doing, how you talk to him, and he you can see all the old guys come in and out, and he talks to them and asks how they're doing, and if you need anything, just hit him up. And he's really one of those guys that down in the future I can call, and he'll definitely pick up the phone and have a conversation with. So just him, just in general, is just I always remember like positive, great things about him.
Can you just walk us through the interception, just what you were thinking or what you were seeing? Just kind of walk us through the play from your eyes.
First, I want to give credit to my the defense. All the receivers were locked up. Cowers gave great pressure on the quarterback, and the quarterback I think he was trying to throw it to a receiver behind me maybe, or just trying to throw the ball away, and the ball came straight at me, and I was originally trying to bat it down at first, and then like bounced off my hands and my helmet and my shoulder pads, and I just remember like look the ball in because the ball hasn't touched the ground yet, and I secured the catch, and then when I had it, I was like, okay, don't fumble. But it was really fun. It was really exciting, and just seeing all my teammates getting hype on the sideline, that was fun too.
What's the key when facing a power run team like you'll see against San Diego State?
To us, like, well, being in the D-line room, we really take most of the pressure upon ourselves, and just know if we can shut down all the holes and things like that and make sure there's nowhere for them to run, then we can stop the power run. I think the D-line try to put that first on our shoulders first, and then if we could do as much as we can, then we know the people behind us, the linebackers and the DBs, would help us rally and make tackles, and I think that was just the mindset going against power run.
Is that the dream? I mean, if you're a defensive lineman, I mean, that's you guys are probably going to be involved in quite a bit against a team like that. I mean, do you look forward to matchups like that?
I personally like run teams. I like when you just kind of look in the backfield, and the running back's like, oh, no, there's nowhere to go. It's just kind of like in your head, you're like, oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, it's just really fun to go against run aggressive teams first and then try to make them get out their element and pass the ball a little bit. And I know we have great DBs, so you want to throw it up towards them, then good luck.
After 3 straight games where you guys were heavy favorites, now you get a matchup that looks really dead even. Is there a different vibe with the team as far as going into this week than there maybe has been for almost a month?
I just think we taking every game, just taking one game at a time. No matter who the opponent was, we're going to go out and try to execute our game plan as best as possible. And if we put the work in practice and we try our best to be assignment sound, that the outcome will hopefully be in our favor in the game. So I don't think it mattered if it was San Diego or if it was Boise or if it was UMass or Idaho State. I think we all just addressed it the same.
Fairly close with Jacob Jimenez, transferred to San Diego State.
That's my boy.
You talked to him at all about this?
I've been talking to him all season about it. I've been always kind of tuned in at San Diego's football program and been watching some of their games just because of him. And we're like really good friends, and we knew this week was going to come as the end of the season. And I'm excited to see him, and I know he's excited to see me, but one might be a little bit more excited at the end of the game. But but that's my boy.
As a Texas boy, this is maybe kind of a weird question, but what's sort of the reputation, or I guess like the brand of San Diego State football that you've kind of noticed, I guess, over the years? Have you ever like followed them, or did you ever know anything about them growing up, or just since you've been at BYU even?
I think it caught my attention first, like coming from being at BYU. But like growing up in Texas, first of all, we think high school football in Texas is second to none to begin with, and most of the time you hear about your UTs, your Texas A&Ms, your Texas Tech, your TCUs, your Arkansas, and things like that. And so we don't really hear about, maybe USC will come across, Stanford, Oregon, big teams like that, but we don't really look at other teams besides that. But definitely being at BYU kind of opened my eyes to the program that San Diego State have, and they have a pretty good program. And so I think I've just been kind of aware just because of my time at BYU.
Any other questions for JJ? All right, thanks.
Dude, thank you.
Sir,
Y'all get that man now, Zach Wilson.
Thanks, JJ.
Who's that?
Zach, I just asked JJ about maybe a different vibe this week because it looks to be a really competitive game. Is there a different vibe than maybe it's been here for nearly a month?
I think the vibe these last couple games is, BYU's played down. So a lot of people have said to, teams that were way better than his level, and so I think that was a huge focus against UMass is that, we know we're the better team, and we just got to come out and show it. And I think that was the first game we've kind of done that, in the last 2 years, that we're just the better team. But personally, talking about what you're saying is, I think we play better when we're kind of the underdog, or when, the game is, evenly sided. And so I think the vibe this week is that we got to have that energy, and that, this team is good. And so I think the guys are just going to be excited to have that energy and be ready to go.
What is your feeling on the matchup against their defense, which is one of the best in the country?
Yeah, I mean, I know they struggle. I'm sorry. I think a lot of teams that have played against them have struggled, running the ball against them, and I think that's where we're going to have to do well. I think in the pass game, of course, we're going to have to be great, but I think what's going to be the difference is if we can run the ball against those guys and get a run game established. And so, that's the kind of the thing that sticks out is that they're really good at stopping the run.
Zach, I've asked the other guys this, but what can you think of something specifically that Kalani has maybe done that has endeared himself to you or made him so popular among the players?
Just the way he treats everybody. I mean, you talk about a lot of head coaches that people are scared if they want to talk to you in their office, or you walk by them and they just have that heavy demeanor, like like they're just hard to talk to, and he's definitely, a player's person. He texts me, over the weekend multiple times, just, enjoy the weekend with your family. And, right after this, I could walk right into his office and, sit down and say what's up to him, and he'll talk about, whatever. And I think that's the most intriguing part, is that he is just the most, like, you could talk to him about anything. He definitely loves every player on this team and every person on this team, and he cares about every single person. I think that's what makes him so intriguing. Now all the players just always want to spend time with him, and they know that he's always got your back.
Having grown up a Utah fan and having committed to Boise State, was he a big part of the reason you're here?
Yeah.
When you met him and that?
Yeah, I mean, huge part. When I was younger, he always was like, you're going to be playing for me someday. And my dad knows him from going back with the Utah days and stuff. And so, it just kind of eventually got to the point where after that bad season at BYU, and he was making some changes, and, he called me and was just like, I want you to be my quarterback. And it was a tough decision for me. I felt like I was going to a really good school for quarterbacks over at Boise. And so, it was really tough. All the odds were kind of against me to come to a school that had just gone 4-9 and had a returning senior quarterback, and, didn't have a lot of success. But, it's just that trust in his voice that, I want you to be here playing with me. And, he made some changes to make it happen.
At one point in the season, the team was 2 games under 500. Now with the win Saturday, you have an opportunity to get 8 regular season wins and more with a bowl. What does that say about you guys, the way that you guys have played over the last couple of weeks, and what does that mean to you that that's a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, everyone talks about it. College football is crazy, right? We're looking at the Pac-12 right now. Everyone's beating each other, and everyone's losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. And I think that's the crazy part about this team is, even though we've had some bad losses, we also look at the good, positive wins that we've had, and we've been able to capitalize on those. And then, we knew that this half of the season was one that we would really have to dial up and, say like, hey, we gotta, get rid of those bad mistakes, and we're really focusing on consistency as a team and how we can be a consistent good team.
You mentioned in your first answer you felt like this was the first UMass win, was the first game you come out and just proved, hey, we are the better team.
Mm-hmm.
What was different? Anything in your mind?
I'm not sure. I think it was, the energy as a team. I think just the fact we put a focus on it all week is just, like, I know we had a couple games last year with NIU underperforming and New Mexico State, and then, even Idaho State. I mean, we beat them pretty well, but it wasn't a win. I mean, I would even say Liberty was a game that we didn't prove that we were, by far the better team, which we are. And so, no offense to those guys, but we are the better team by far. And we, UMass was definitely one that we needed to start strong and just prove, we're better than these guys. And I don't know, all around aspects is we were aggressive from the very start. We took shots from the very start of the game. The players just kind of expected that big things would happen rather than just, coming out slow and feeling like we gotta, kind of run the ball on these guys because we're, we don't want to stay away from mistakes or whatever it was. But, we came out aggressive.
I hate to use the word rivalry because it's obviously kind of not on like a Utah or Utah State level or Boise, but is there a rivalry element with San Diego State and BYU just because you guys have so much history and kind of been around each other so much? Yeah,
I mean, for me, this is the first time I'm ever going to play against them, so I have no idea if it's ever been a rivalry or if people look at BYU San Diego State like it is. But I think the approach, rivalry or not, is going to be the same. The energy we brought to Utah State and Boise State is going to be the same, this week. And I think the players are going to have that focus all week, that these guys are a good team and, that they're going to give us, their best shot. And so we're going to have that same energy as if it is a rivalry game.
Where have you seen the most growth in the offense from start of the season to now?
Yeah. I know last game we had a huge impact in the running game. As far as growth goes, I would just say the overall team, the whole offense is just, and we've had more explosive plays. Throughout the season, we've kind of established more of our identity as an offense and the things we want to accomplish. And, you run into those things with a new offensive coordinator and someone that's new to the game is, you got to find what works for the guys that you have. And so we've definitely found that rhythm that we want to, get into. And, I would say these last couple games are really just sticking true to with what we have going. And, we kind of found out no matter who we play that this is kind of what we're going to do. And so, the receivers have been making some incredible plays. I think think that's been one of the biggest things that I've noticed is just the ability to get the ball in their hands and watch them make plays. I mean, you throw a pass behind the line of scrimmage and someone takes it 60 yards for a touchdown. Maybe in the past wasn't a huge BYU thing, but, I'm proud of those guys for really stepping up.
For college football players, is Thanksgiving week any different than a normal week?
No, it'll be about the same for us. I mean, I think even though if we have school off, we'll practice still, and we'll focus up just like it's normal. And that night that we get to go hang out with our families, the guys that are here, we'll be able to take advantage of that. But thinking back on last year, I think the preparation's about the same.
Last year was the week of the Utah game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know you've had a lot of teammates to your house in Draper. There, are you gonna have a lot this for Thanksgiving?
We haven't talked about it yet. I mean, I'm definitely sure I'll invite like anyone that wants to come. I think what we might be doing is going up to my uncle's house, who's got a big old house down in like Park City, and so any of the guys on the team, that's pretty much how we reach out every year. Is any of the guys on the team that families out of state and they don't have anywhere to go and want to come get some food, they can always come over. So I'm sure I'll reach out to some of those guys.
What about media members?
Yeah, Jay's got a lot of room at his place.
These guys all hate me.
Any other questions for Zach?
Thanks so much.
All right.
Yeah, thanks,
Zach.
guys.
Thanks, everybody.